Welcome to Winning Men's at Home. I'm Randy Gravett, and I'm glad that you have checked out the channel today. We're talking about regret. If you missed yesterday's episode, I referred to regret at the end and talked about maybe regret's not all bad, but let's start with this idea that regret is going to feel bad. And we're going to get down the road, and if we don't do what we're supposed to do, if we don't do what we said we would do, or if we do things that we shouldn't do, we all have felt those things. I know I have. There have been so many times I've done the wrong thing and I felt regret for that, or maybe I didn't do what I knew was the right thing and I felt regret for that. And yet regret is not all bad. So I mentioned yesterday David Whyte, the corporate poet. I've got another something that David said here, and when I was reading his thing on time, he talked about time is not slipping through our fingers. This was yesterday's episode. He said, time's here forever. It's we who are slipping through the fingers of time. And yet he goes on to talk about regret. And one of the things he says, and I'm going to read you this little thing here. He says, sincere regret may in fact be a faculty for paying attention to the future. I mean, think about that. When we have regret, it actually can encourage us to pay attention to the future. He says, for sensing a new tide where we may have missed the previous one, for experiencing timelessness with a grandchild where we neglected a boy of our own. To regret fully is to appreciate how high the stakes are in even the average human life. Fully experienced regret turns our eyes attentive and alert to a future possibly lived better than our past. And I love that. I think that is so powerful to think that regret could actually cause us to be better in the future when we feel regret. Now, some of you may have regret, deep regret, that, there's things that you meant to do, you wanted to do, you wanted to be the kind of father, you wanted to be the kind of mother, you wish you had done something different when you were growing up. I mean, fill in your blank, right? We all have these places where we wish we hadn't done something and we feel regret. But here's the thing, for me, there's some areas in my life, as I look back on my life, where there's some things I did, and I look back and I think, I'm never going to do that again. The pain that you feel when you do the wrong thing, the consequences, if we think about it that way, really consequences can be such a gift. I heard somebody say recently that consequences actually are what form wisdom and character in our life. If we don't ever feel the consequences, and if you're a parent and you're trying to remove all the consequences from your kids when they go through something, it's somebody else's fault, rather than when they do something, they make a wrong choice, you allow them to feel the weight of those consequences. It actually helps them forge wisdom and character. And so I think that's a good reminder for us. But in our own lives, where we have these places where we didn't do the right thing, or we did something we wish we hadn't done, I want to encourage you to take the regret, take the pain of that, and let's begin to make some changes and think through how we would want to live moving forward. David Whyte's right. It can be a tremendous gift to feel regret. It can be something that could propel us really to a better future when we look back on our past. And so I love the reminder that our lives are new every single day, right? You go to bed, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you get a new day. We're going to talk about do-overs and how all that works tomorrow. But I hope you'll begin to think about some areas, some places where you felt pain, and you won't let that be your final verdict in that area. You can't change the memories. You can't undo the past. I got that. But I think it can make you better moving forward. And you do have an opportunity to really grow some resolve, grow some resilience, grow some compassion, some empathy, some sorrow, forgiveness. All kind of things can happen when we feel regret. If we will be humble, we'll learn from that. We'll allow that character to be forged in our own lives. We can actually pay that forward to the people who live around us, that we work with, that we live with. I think it is such a powerful thing just to be reminded that regret can be a positive thing. So I hope today you will really take a little bit of an evaluation. Now, here's what I would say. It's better to not make some mistakes, right? We're talking about regret here. It's because we've made mistakes. I'd rather us just learn from the mistakes of others if we can. And you probably have some people around you, they're doing some things they probably shouldn't do, or maybe they're not doing some things that they should do. And you can pay attention to how that plays out. We've all seen this. We don't have to feel regret for someone else. We can feel empathy for someone else, or sorrow really for someone else who's going through something. Maybe we might even be a word of encouragement to them or accountability can kind of pull them back. I mean, how many times have I had people who've helped me get back on the path when I've gotten off of it? But I really today, I want you to think about your own story. What can you do to learn from the things that have happened in your past so that you can pay it forward and have a better future as you again, learn that wisdom and character. Those two days here from David White, these two quotes, I think have been very powerful. We'll talk tomorrow about do-overs. Are they a thing? We're gonna think about that tomorrow. So I hope you'll come back and join us for that. Hope today that you will encourage somebody else by sharing this episode with them, and maybe you even start a conversation about some regret. Maybe you need to own something that you've done or mend a fence, so to speak. So hope you'll do that. All right, love you guys. Join us again tomorrow for more Winning Begins at Home.